All righty.
I could really go for a stick of butter right now. So,
Yeah. How about
though I will say, you ever see people like fucking like trying to recreate like an Olive Garden recipe or some restaurant's recipe, and they're like, I can't get it to taste the same. And
uh-huh.
chefs come in and be like, that's because you care about being alive. Throw an entire fucking stick of butter into the pan. I don't give a shit if you live or die. I'm just cooking it to hit a certain taste.
Yep, someone we knew worked as a sous chef that was basically just like the way that steaks taste at restaurants is better because they take the whole steak and dip it in butter and
They
then
don't care about you being alive tomorrow.
they grill it. Just take the meat and dip it in the. That's all they do. That's why it tastes so much better. It's not a mystery. Nevertheless,
Oh.
I don't recommend a stick of butter, but can I perhaps offer you a stick of ram?
No, I can't afford it.
Are you sure?
I can't afford that shit.
Well, what about now?
No, I can afford it even less. Oh, now
So, we
in
are
our new section we call AI's ruining fucking everything again.
enjoy this current moment. Chipflation has been upon us, and it's always been pretty rough. I mean, ever since we've been talking about the fucking Nvidia, debacles and shit for a couple of years now. But it's gotten so stupid as AI is affecting the industry and making it impossible to buy things, and the prices are in the process of getting batshit crazy. So a couple seconds ago, people were looking at like $400 for 32 gigs of DDR5. 64 gigs going for over 900 in some instances, and getting worse on Black Friday sale.
Way worse. Way
right?
worse.
Times where you're like, just wait for Black Friday. No, idiot, it's going to explode 5 times more. So it's the whole market's fucked. And it's
So what's happening is that RAM manufacturers are just deciding to sell directly to AI data centers and OpenAI and whatnot, instead of the consumer. So there's less left over for you.
And this is two things to this week in particular. One, Samsung is so desperate, and the market is so fucked that Samsung will not sell to Samsung. This
is definitely sustainable. Let's sell all of our stuff to companies that don't make money and make sure that our own sister companies can't make their own products.
Samsung Electronics tried to get their RAM from Samsung Semiconductors, and Samsung Semiconductors refused the order for the new Galaxy phones that they were producing because go fuck yourself, we cannot, and we will not sell it to even you.
So you can't get a computer, so you can't use AI. You got to get a new phone. So let me get this straight. Gen Alpha and Gen Z are killing the iPhone market by holding on to their phones for longer, but also you can't even buy a new phone because they can't get the RAM to even manufacture them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and this is somehow the consumer's fault.
Oh well, we don't forget that like millennials killed the family style restaurant, and
I remember.
East Side Mario's is dead because of us.
I'd like to swoop in on this. In addition to this being the biggest bubble that's ever been, there is some evidence to support the claim that Nvidia is selling its own GPUs to some of these AI companies ahead of need or demand, and they're literally just sitting in the millions in warehouses because the data centers that would use them don't exist and can't exist because the power draw would crash the grid. So they're just okay. So let me give you a really rough version of this. Okay, let me give you a really rough version.
The demand is for an impossible output.
Okay, so AI company that Nvidia has stock in orders cards from NVIDIA. NVIDIA then sells the cards to AI company who puts them in a warehouse. The money goes to NVIDIA, which increases NVIDIA's stock because they're making lots of revenue, which they then use to invest in the AI company that bought the cards from themselves.
Oh, yeah, this is going to work out fucking great.
So,
everyone deserves everything that's coming to them.
If you are a Seinfeld fan, this is literally the racket that George Costanza runs to buy a bunch of computers from his dad's company so that he gets the promotion over the other guy, and then he's about to return the computers afterwards. And then Kramer destroys all of them. So let's ignore the part where Kramer destroys all of them. If George did try and return all the computers he bought with his fake company to his dad's company would go under. It would go bankrupt.
I'm like, I can't believe we're in a state where like things were better when the scalping bots and assholes were the worst you had to worry about because they were trying to grab as much as they could off video cards for crypto. And now you're just in a whole other realm of straight to the manufacturer, actually. And this is
we are just in the issue right now of a bunch of rich people have made a fake product and are selling pieces of that fake product to each other in a big circle to commit check fraud. So, like, do you remember the free money glitch thing?
Yes.
Where a bunch of poor people discovered check fraud and all got fucked over?
Mm-hmm.
There is no difference between that check fraud and what NVIDIA and OpenAI are doing with their money now, other than the fact that they have more lawyers and accountants.
Guys,
and it's also screwing up everything.
I discovered the craziest trick. It's nuts. Just a TikTok CEO. Just being like, so you go and then you make the cards, right? And then you don't actually ship them anywhere. And then you take the money for the order and then you put it back in the same place that bought it from you.
If you can find a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation and you were thinking about getting one, get one as fast as you can. So the computer that's to my right, it is top of the line as of 2 years ago, and this thing is, I thank fucking God I bought it then before all this shit went nuts. The prices of every electronic that you could possibly think of is going to just go up, 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 up. And simultaneously, I see a fucking Economist article go, so what's up with Gen Z and old technology like the PSP? They can buy it!
Well...
They can buy it!
Hey, look. All you really need to do as this bullshit's happening, you just need to find a company that you can trust to provide your RAM needs. So fortunately, if you need some RAM, I think you should turn to Micron and get yourself in and buy from them, because that'll be the
Aren't they stopping sales to consumers entirely?
Yeah, actually. So you talked about Nvidia, and that wasn't even where I was going. I was talking about Samsung not selling to Samsung as on a journey to the story that is Micron has exited the consumer business entirely. They just said fuck customers and 100%. And in their announcement about this, why is because they're basically going to be spending 100% of their time and resources just providing chips to AI companies, and they're just that's going to take all of their time, all their resources. They have no more need to turn to consumers. They're going to get all their money from AI companies from now on forever, and everything will be great and nothing will ever go wrong.
I would like anyone that ever even thinks the phrase "the market will provide" or "the free market," yada yada, needs to remember that we are in the process of, I would say, enduring the largest squander of technical resources that has ever existed in human history.
Well,
like in terms of technology use straight into the dumpster, there will probably never be anything like this again.
Yeah, and they're also like in particular, like while you're watching this era of what's happening and the speculative aspect of it is completely divorced from the other half of this, which is apparently they're also through subsidies and tax breaks already making record profits compared to what they used to, and all of that is basically being passed on to their AI customers. So there's mega corporation AI customers that are reaping the benefits of that. The fact that the money that they're getting from that makes it worth it for them to exit the market entirely 100% is fucking nuts. And I guess I don't know what like when you have a situation like this where it's not even like you said, it's like the product itself doesn't even matter in the equation. Like it's one thing to just be like, no, we want to get this, we want to cut out the dealing with the customer entirely and just work straight with the AI companies or whatever. The part where you're describing that, like literally, there is just a fraud loop happening indefinitely here. It feels like that is like if there's a natural bubble popping point that we're looking at, does this not just hyper accelerate it into like
Yes, it makes the bubble much, much larger. See, the reason why people keep investing is because the stock valuation goes up. So all there needs to be is one singular crisis of faith, because the stock market is entirely based off of vibes. So one very large investor has to go, you know what? I'm going to get out while the going's good and pull it. And then other people will pull it. And then the stock will crash, which will cause everyone to pull it. And then OpenAI will go from infinite capital through stock to nothing and just go right under. Just go right under. And I don't think there's enough money in the world to actually bail them out because of the way they've been running things.
Yeah, no, the phase where you're producing things and they're pretty much going straight into a landfill is, if that's not your edge of the cliff, I don't know what is. I saw people comparing Micron, pulling out in this way, similar to like what Colt did in the 90s, where they just went 100% with military contracts and then basically went bankrupt immediately afterwards.
Think about Konami.
Right. Yeah.
Like let's use an example that we're actually much more familiar with.
Die.
Konami almost went under because they were like pachinko all the way. Fuck it. Oh shit, pandemic. Oh. Mm-hmm. Video games after they fired all their fucking talent.
I'll tell you one thing. Rest in peace then to the other thing is the Micron pens that they used to make were really good for art. Known for chips and I guess for really nice fine liner pens. I wonder if that part of their business is also going away forever. I would imagine so. Is it the same Micron? Are Micron?
I'm not certain.
Is it one of those things where? Hold on a minute. Because Micron pens, whenever you're doing line art, are they the same company? They are not the same company. Okay, well, fine.
There's also a very minor addition to the AI sucks news this week that has nothing to do with RAM. Did you see McDonald's AI commercial for the holidays?
Not yet, no.
Well, you can't now because they pulled it down.
Oh yeah, did they?
So here's what happened. They put out an AI slop ad that looked like shit for Christmas. And everyone was like, yo, this sucks. This sucks shit and is god awful. To which part McDonald's came out and said, hey, the technology isn't magic. Our team had to spend 7 sleepless weeks working on this AI 30-second ad because we had to do, and they listed off like 100 different technical things they had to do to make it work. And it's like, okay, wait a second. The AI robot that's going to make everything trivially easy for everyone to do it forever actually took a team almost 2 months to slop together instead of just shooting a regular fucking commercial. McDonald's would definitely not have taken almost 2 months to shoot a regular fucking commercial. They would have banged that shit out in a week. And now they've that didn't endear them to people because it's such obvious horseshit, and now they've taken it down.
But can you imagine 7 weeks of sleepless nights of prompting?
I can, and it sounds miserable. It actually sounds absolutely miserable because it's trying to get a toddler to put the cap back on their fucking cup. It's like, okay, no, put it on. Now turn it. No, grip it with your fingers and push it and turn it. Like it's like every single fucking thing comes out like shit, and all the clips are like 1 second long because they can't maintain any continuity.
No, what if you add Hallmark commercial to it? And
crazy,
then,
crazy.
Well, hey, Silver Lining.
Hey, that thing that sucks and isn't worth it. Hey, it's also absorbing all the world's technology. Like it's literally eating it.
Well, Silver Lining, the pens are gonna be fine.
Yeah,
I fucking thought, yeah. You know when like companies do like one crazy thing, and then they're known for doing like one thing, but they just one other thing they keep doing. You know, like Yamaha, they make motorcycles, but they're also like, and we make music shit, and you're like, you do a good job with it, but like, why are you also the motorcycle company? What's going on? Anyway, it's weird. Or Samsung guns. That's a thing.
What?
Samsung made guns.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Samsung's like, yeah, no, we also do that. Exactly. It's like, what? Anyway, whatever. So in terms of video games, in the meantime, Checkered Inc. is an indie dev that has recently put out a giant 10,000 game asset pack so that developers don't feel the need to turn to AI. It's $10. You can get it off of their itch.io page, and it's like, yeah, if you need assets and you're desperate for them and you're gonna go hit a prompt, just don't hit the prompt. Here you go. Here you can do this, right? Asset flipping is now like the more noble pathway.
Well, hold on. Asset flipping was always like defined as buying the shittiest assets you can get and then doing nothing to them without any hope of cohesion.
But now the assets you are buying are made by human beings, thus it is de facto a better practice than
so it becomes your responsibility, person who hears this and knows anyone in game development. So that's Checkered Inc., you said?
Yes.
Okay. To let people know that, because by the time you hear this, some shithead has bought that shit and jammed it into the plagiarism machine and will try and pass it off as their own bullshit.
Of course.
So please, by all means, go down to the actual fucking source for its actual real purpose.
But yeah, these types of gestures are pretty sick, and hopefully, you know, more of this can be made available, because you get the feeling that there's a lot of people they're talking to here that are like, if you have to decide between using one, generating out a prompt and not, then you're probably not going to be the type of person who's in the target of this anyway. It's like this, like,
yeah, because you don't have any integrity at all.
It's already in that situation, right?
Yeah, you're already like a stupid bad person.
But if but if you have this type of thing at the very least available by, like, you know, different developers and stuff, or different groups of people putting out these types of packs where it's like, if you just want to get your game prototyped, if you just want to work on something and you just need assets and you need them quick and you're not even thinking about final, you just want to show off something or whatever the case is, here, right? There's no excuse. You can just get it very easily, readily available. So that's a cool move. I appreciate that. Anyways,
we're going to have to stop talking about this on the podcast, because eventually I'm going to let my real opinions come out and I'm going to get in trouble. I about what I think should be done with the people running these companies.
Yeah. Well, okay. TOS is a funny thing.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
It's a funny thing, you know.